are you ready if I go ahead and start with class? Quick check-in. Cool. And you'll keep an eye on the waiting room in case anyone else. Amazing. So yeah, we may have more people popping in to join us. But if you just came in, hello, welcome. My name is Amy, and I will be here representing Exhale to Inhale today with a 30-minute chair yoga session. Before we jump in, just a quick word about who we are and what we do. Exhale to Inhale is based out of New York City, and we bring yoga to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assaults. Pre-pandemic, we were in shelters, community centers, agencies across all 5 boroughs. And right now we've been primarily, or I guess solely, online. So I'm really grateful to have this time to be able to connect with all of you. With all that said, let's go ahead and get going. So we will be in a chair. And I will just say that, it feels really supportive for me to move my chair lower so that I can put my feet on the ground. If you have the ability to do that, you may want to. If you can't, no worries, but there could be another option for you if you feel like your feet are way off the ground. If you have something you can step on, you might put like yoga blocks or a folded towel or blanket on the ground for your feet to go on if you would like to. Definitely not required, but I want to throw that out as an option in case that would be useful. Right, but wherever you land, I invite you to find a comfortable, tall seat in your chair. So you might be letting your hands rest on your legs or on your arms of your chair, wherever they naturally fall. And then just take a moment to take a mindful look around your space. So this is a moment to really arrive in your physical body. A moment to step away from whatever was going on prior to this moment and to really energetically bring yourself into the here and the now. As you're ready, if you'd like to join me, we'll start by moving the neck. So feel free to drop your chin down towards your chest. And then as you're ready, you might begin to trace your chin along your right collarbone until you're looking down over your right shoulder. From there, as you're ready, you can try tilting your chin forward a little and your right ear back a little bit. And then taking that circle all the way around. So if it feels okay, you can drop your head back, look up, and then eventually you'll be looking down over your left shoulder. From there, you can trace your chin along your left collarbone until you land back down at the center. Okay, these circles can really be as big or as small as you'd like to make them. We'll try it to the other side. As you're ready, trace your chin along your left collarbone until you're looking down over your left shoulder. You can pause there for a moment. See if you could then tilt your left ear back and your chin forward, almost like you were trying to look in your back pocket here. And then as you're ready, feel free to complete this circle all the way around. So dropping your head back, looking up, and then eventually you'll land looking over your right shoulder again. And then trace your chin along your right collarbone until you land back in the center of your chest. And then I'll invite you to take a couple more like that. Your pace might stay really slow, or you might want to move a little faster. That's totally fine. But something that might be useful with these circles is to try to really make the biggest circle you can so that you're moving your neck in all the ways that it can move. And that might feel really, really nice if you've been at a computer all day, right? So just starting to find some different directions to turn the head around in. Take your time with this, and you may find a place that feels like it's a little tight, or you need to pause and take a couple of breaths there, right? You may need to pause and stretch in one direction. So I invite you to explore this however it shows up for you. And then as you're ready, feel free to meet me back in a neutral, tall, seated position. If you're still circling the head, no rush at all, take your time. If and when you're ready, I invite you to get the shoulders involved now. So feel free to lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then roll them down your back. Yeah, and we'll take a few more like that. As you're ready, you can lift them up. And then think about drawing the shoulders back and broadening as the chest, as the shoulders come back down. Let's try one more like that. Lift up and roll back. Nice. You're welcome to stay with that, or we'll switch directions. If you'd like, you can lift the shoulders up and then try rolling them forward this time. Yeah, and we'll try two more like that if you're choosing that. And just like we talked about with the neck, really getting our shoulders to start to move in all the ways that they can move might be really helpful in creating a little more space in the body, a little more ease. Nice, everyone. Last here, we'll move down to the wrists. So a couple of options. Feel free to try making a fist with each hand and then circling your wrists around in their own directions. Yeah, and same idea, like what are all of the ways that your wrists can move? How can these circles be really big? And if you are working at a computer, typing a lot, this can be really, really useful. You're welcome to stay with this, one fist for each hand, or if you'd like, you can interlace your fingers together, make one fist with your both hands, and then circle that fist around. Yeah, great choices, everyone. Mine are cracking, snap, snap, crackle, pop over here. You might feel some pops as well. Take as long as you'd like, and when you're ready, feel free to let that go. You may want to shake out your hands or move in any other way here that feels intuitive. Yeah, so nice. And then feel free to meet me back in a comfortable seat. You might have your hands on your legs or on your chair. I want to make sure, can everyone hear me okay? You just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. And we'll move on to a bit of a bigger movement here. So seated cats and cows, and I'm going to show you from the side. As you're ready, feel free to begin to lift your chest and roll your shoulders back, just as we did before. If it feels okay on your neck, you can lift your chin up as well. And then we'll take the opposite curve of the spine from here. You can try dropping your chin to your chest, rounding your shoulders forward, and almost hollowing out the upper body. Yes, exactly. And then feel free to continue to move between these two shapes. So as you lift the chest and the chin, this is seated cow pose. And then as you curl and round chin towards chest, this is seated cat pose. So moving between seated cat and cow. Again, you might speed it up. You might keep it really slow. You might find a place that feels a little tight or like it needs a little more attention, and you might choose to stay and take a couple of breaths in one place. You might also choose to keep this movement really lateral, forward and backward. Or maybe there's a little bit of a side to side motion, right? What are all the ways that your spine can move right now so that we can create a little more space, a little more ease in the physical body? Nice. Take all the time that you'd like with this one. When you're ready, feel free to join me back in a neutral seat. And we'll start to get the arms and the breath involved. So feel free to take both arms. If you have the room, they might come out to the side and then up. If you don't have the room around you, all good. You might take your arms forward or bend the elbows a little bit, right? So either way, you'll end with the arms up. And then we'll bring them back down. Let your fingertips land maybe on your chair, your legs, or your desk. And then if you'd like to get the breath involved here, you can try and inhale as you reach up. And an exhale as the arms come back down. Yes, and if you do have this space around you, you might explore, like, how big can this reach be? How much space can you let yourself take up? Really beautiful, everyone. Feel free to continue moving with this at your own pace and your own rhythm of breath. And just like we talked about before, if there's a place where you find, ooh, I need an extra moment here, or my body wants to move in this way, then I invite you to explore that. Feel free to take a few more rounds. Yes, I'm seeing some side to sides. I'm seeing some arch backs. Maybe you want to move your neck around again here. Yes, some swaying. These are amazing. Maybe you want to dance around with it. How does your body want to move right now? Last few rounds like this. No rush if you are still up to something, but if and when you're ready to move on, feel free to meet me back in a seat. And then you'll pull one knee up and let your hands find your knee or your shin here. Yeah. Cool. You may find that you want to move the knee around, take a little side to side. Perhaps it's a sort of a stirring motion, like you're stirring a pot with your leg. Yep. Nice. And then when you're ready, you can step that right foot back down. Try the left side. Left knee pulls up and in. You just grab wherever you can naturally grab. It might feel good to stay still, or yeah, you may want to move around side to side. Stir it up. Make some circles. Nice. Cool. And we'll take this just a couple more times, right side to left side. And again, the pacing is up to you. So it could turn into more of a march side to side, or you may want to really take your time and keep it really slow. Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah. And then no rush. Again, take as long as you'd like with that. We're going to try a seated shape here. When you're ready, see if you can open your left knee out to the left side. So I'm just kind of heel toeing my left foot towards the left. See if your left toes can actually turn out to the left side as well. And I'll adjust my view so you can see a little bit more. Yeah, so left knee bent, left toes facing out to the left side. And then see if you could straighten out your right leg. Keep your right foot on the mat and turn your right toes forward. This is our setup for seated warrior two. Feel free to keep your hands on your hips here, or feel free to take your arms out to the side. Yeah, so left knee bending, right leg straight, both feet stepping firmly into the ground. Amazing. And then you're welcome to stay like this or add the arms back in. As you breathe in, you might reach up. As you breathe out, you might take the arms back out to a T shape. Yes. Good, and we'll stay with that for a few more rounds. If you're interested in keeping the breath flowing with the movement, then feel free to do that at your own pace. If you feel like you'd rather remain still at any point, you are welcome to leave the arms out in that T shape and explore really reaching side to side. Notice if you could anchor down through your feet any amount more here. Find that connection with the ground again. Nice. As you're ready, yogis, you can float your hands back down and we'll switch sides. So take your time to heel toe your feet back in towards one another. And then we'll begin to open the right knee out to the side this time. Right knee bends. Left foot's gonna heel toe out to the left until you can try to straighten out that left leg as best you can. This is your setup for seated warrior 2. And then feel free to really practice anchoring into your feet. You might press them into the floor and really feel that connection with the earth. As you're ready, hands might stay on your hips if you want to keep tapping into that feeling of groundedness, or feel free to take the arms out to the sides, really reaching right and left. Nice. Yeah, really nice. And then if you want, you can remain here and stay still, or feel free to link the breath and movement. As you reach up, you might take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you might float the arms back out. Yeah, and then I invite you to really let this be your own exploration. Any amount of stillness, any amount of breath with movement, your own pace, your own body. Take as long as you'd like to explore this. But if and when you're ready, then feel free to float your arms back down and heel toe your feet back towards one another, arriving back in our neutral seated position. And then I'm going to give us an option to stand up for this next part, but you are welcome to remain seated if you prefer. But if you want to stand, we'll do a little balance exercise. So you might choose to actually hold on to your chair for this, yeah? If you want to stay seated, I'll give you an option for that in just a moment. And then, yeah, feel free to hold on to your chair if you want a little support with balance. And then when you're ready, see if you could pick up your right knee, just like we did seated before. Yep. And then see if you could open your right knee out to the right side and place the bottom of your right foot somewhere along the inside of your left leg. Yeah. You got it. This is the setup for tree pose. I'm going to make sure you can see. I know my head's cut off, but alas, we are in my little New York City bedroom, so it's not a lot of space. But here we are, tree pose. And you're welcome to slide your foot lower so it finds the floor. You're welcome to continue holding the chair, or perhaps you want to bring hands together in front of your heart, or perhaps arms up. If remaining seated is a better fit for you right now, you can take the same exact shape, right knee open to the side, bottom of right foot presses somewhere along the inside of your left leg. Seated tree pose, same thing, maybe hands together, maybe arms up. Nice choices, everyone. Wherever you are choosing to be right now, I invite you to notice your breath. And maybe we can stay for 2 or 3 more rounds of your own breath. You got it. As you're ready, feel free to step your right foot back down. If you're standing, you can stay standing. We're going to switch to the second side. So open the left knee, lift it, open it, and then place the bottom of your left foot somewhere along the inner edge of your right leg. Yeah, and I'm showing you a seated version right now, but of course, you're welcome to remain standing, perhaps holding on to your chair if you'd like a little bit of help with balance. Yeah. And then wherever you end up, whether it's tree pose, seated, or standing, you might bring your palms together, or you might explore floating your arms up. Yes, wherever you end up, invitation to try 2 to 3 more rounds of your own breath. Good. When you're ready, feel free to step your left foot back down. And we'll all meet back up in our seated position. And then as you're ready from here, feel free to take your arms out and up once again. This time we're going to take a little side to side. So your right hand can find your leg or your chair or your desk perhaps. And then see if you could reach your left arm up and over to the right side. Yes. So you might imagine anchoring your lower body into your floor and into your chair. And then finding some lift up and out of the side of your waist. When you're ready, feel free to switch sides. You can take both arms up for a moment and then the left hand down. The right arm reaches up and over. Yeah, beautiful. And then same idea, perhaps you find a feeling of connection with the ground and the chair from the waist down. And from the waist up, a little bit more length, a little bit more space. Nice, and then from here, I invite you to take this side to side at your own pace. So once again, you might speed it up a little bit, or you might keep it really slow. Perhaps you'll find a place that feels good to stay still and take a couple breaths there. Perhaps you'll tap back into the sensation of your breath. Nice, yogis, no rush if you are up to something. But the next time you are reaching to the right, see if you could pause there, continue to reach to the right. And then you might reach so much that that top left arm circles all the way down and we will find a seated forward fold in your chair. So I'm going to show you from the side. I am still seated, but I'm folding my torso over and letting my head hang towards the ground. Option to remain in your chair for this forward fold, or if you'd like, you can stand into your feet and lift your hips off the chair and let your torso continue to hang down from your standing position. Yeah, so any version of a forward fold here, whether it's seated or standing. Feel free to sway a little side to side, let your arms and head dangle down. And then everyone can begin to slowly roll back towards our seat as you're ready. So restacking the spine. Exactly, really nice. And then we'll try that one more time to the other side. As you're ready, can you reach the right arm up and over? Yes, good. And then maybe you'll reach so much all the way up and over that right arm just passes your face and circles you down towards your seated forward fold, or option to lift the hips off of your chair and find a standing forward fold. Yeah, and if it feels like you kind of want something in between, perhaps you stand, but you keep your hands on your chair or on your desk. That could be a great option. Yes. Really nice, yogis. Yeah, take your time. And when you're ready, feel free to sit back down if you chose the standing version, but we'll all roll back up to a seated position. And we'll take our final shape from the chair. When you're ready, see if you can float your right knee up and in towards yourself. And then this time, as you open the right knee out to the right side, can you try crossing your right ankle on top of your left knee? I see some no's, which is a great, great place to be. So option one, stay here. Option two, ankle on knee. Yeah. And you may find that floating the knee up and opening it out to the side is more than enough to get a little stretch into your right hip. If it's available, you might explore the ankle on the knee, and that will also be a bit of a stretch for your right hip. So you'll be wherever you end up right now. If the ankle on the knee feels all right, you're welcome to remain sitting upright, or you could hinge forward any amount and notice how that might change the shape for you. Wherever you've ended up, option to take another couple breaths right where you are. And then as you're ready, feel free to let that right side go. Step the right foot back down to the ground, and then try floating the left knee up. Left knee open to the side. Any amount, you might stay right there. And it could be, yeah, back to this stirring motion if that was useful. Or perhaps try left ankle on top of your right knee. Yeah, so wherever you end up is perfect. If it's ankle to knee, you also could try leaning forward any amount. Definitely not required, just an option. Feel free to take another big breath or two right here. And then as you're ready, you can start to step your left foot back down. And we'll end together in a comfortable seated position. Or alternatively, if you'd rather come to lie down on the ground, or make yourself comfortable in another way, we have just 1 minute of meditation together. Feel free to close your eyes, or feel free to soften your gaze so you're just looking at one point ahead of you. I invite you to notice your feet. Feel the strength and connection to the ground all the way up through your legs, your hips, your low back. I invite you to notice the rise and fall of your breath as your shoulders gently soften. I invite you to notice the crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. And then if it's useful, invitation to stay with your breath here, and perhaps you link your breath to a couple of words. If this is helpful, maybe it's inhale right here, exhale right now. Inhale right here, exhale right now. See if you can stay with that for just a few more moments. And then if you chose to close down your eyes, feel free to open them back up. If you'd like, you can touch the palms of your hands together with gratitude. Thank you all so much for joining me. I want to be mindful of time and let you move on with your day. And if you have any questions, I'll stay on for another moment. My name is Amy, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Hi, Amy. I just want to thank you. This is Hootie. Thank you for doing this for all of us.
Yes, thank you for joining. It was such a pleasure. Thanks for saying hi.
Thank you, Amy. This is
it was great. Thank
I
you.
enjoyed this.
Thank you from France.
From France,
Thank you,
amazing.
Amy.
from France, up New York.
Thank you, Amy, all the way from Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Oh,
Zimbabwe.
nice. Wow. Zimbabwe. Okay.
Thank you from Ireland.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice.
Ireland.
Thanks from the UK.
Amy, are you
well.
doing it every day?
I will be back next week.
Thank you from Jamaica.
From
Oh,
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Nice.
Beautiful.
I love Jamaica.
Thanks from
Thank
England,
you.
Costa
England.
Rica. Wow.
Wow. This is
Colombia.
wonderful.
Wonderful.
This is great. I really feel good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello,
Thank
Tina
you,
from New
Amy.
York.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Everybody.